name is Ngari Festus, and this time I am aspiring to capture the seat of the Nairobi Staff Branch Secretary, a seat that is contested by other of my competitors for the branch that is deemed to belong to the senior staff of the county government of Nairobi. Our pension scheme is called the Local Authorities Pension Scheme. It is a defined benefit scheme, and it was established in 1929 when Nairobi municipality was under the colonialists before independence, and it has grown in milestone to become one of the giant pension schemes in this country. And the advantage of it is that it's a contributory scheme where every employee who belongs to that scheme pays 12% of his salary every month. And this money is invested by an administrator currently called County Pension Fund. The issue of non-remittance of a scheme dues by employers is a big thorn in the flesh because it has accumulated to slightly over 14 billion shillings as we are speaking today. The employers are supposed to remit pension dues every 10th of every month, but owing to financial indiscipline that has been seen across a number of county governments, they have not been remitting this money, and therefore we have been having opportunity loss of investment. And I am calling upon our administrator to ensure that the penalties that are applicable are bestowed upon the county government so that we can collect each and every coin and invest the money prudently so that by the time of retirement we have something to look forward to. As a branch secretary, I'll be having a team of trade unionist leaders, and we will be applying all the methods under the law that follow the industrial dispute machinery to ensure that workers' rights are respected as far as the Constitution of Kenya, Article 41 is concerned, Labor Relations Act, and any other relevant law that ensures that the welfare of employees is adhered to by the employers. I am not ruling out the possibilities of regular strikes. I am not ruling out the possibility of taking them to industrial and relations court and any other available method of negotiations, either through the Council of Governors or even through cabinet papers. Thank you. There has been several concerns and several attempts to try to collect this money, but all these efforts have not borne any fruits because employers make promises that they do not keep. And that makes the debt to continue rising because at the point of coming up with an MOU, the employer comes and does a PR action of giving some little money, after which they forget very quickly and they go back to non-remittance once again. That makes the debt to continue accumulating. The rate of accumulation is higher than the rate of remittances. Number two, the scheme administrator has not been very keen on slapping these employers with the necessary penalties. Therefore, employers have not felt the pinch. It will be one of the issues that the next office bearers will undertake to ensure that penalties that can deter employers from reneging on MOUs and their legal duties are enforced using the available methods as I have enumerated before, whether industrial actions or court legal actions. As a trade unionist of many years, I believe the very first stage should be to negotiate. That is in-house method. I call the stakeholders into a meeting, they bring their team, I bring their team. If that one does not work, then the necessary measures is to call for industrial action, of which we now involve the Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare. And the last method is the method of now either calling a strike because we have agreed to disagree, upon which now the Minister for Labor should take our employer to court for implementation of the law that says that once the dues are deducted, they should be remitted to the relevant body. I agree there is a serious propaganda because basically we have two schemes that run parallel with the same employees in the same county. One is a defined benefit scheme, which is a pension. The other one is a provident fund. And there has been a lot of competition in terms of movement of membership from one scheme to the other. The issue that has been brought in as a propaganda, because I call it propaganda because the timing is actually wrong. It is coming at a time when we are on campaign trail soliciting for votes, and people are taking advantage of misinformation to try and get votes. There is an investment that is ongoing, and the investment is not a new thing. But this is the first time we hear that the employees are involved in condemning or taking to court a scheme so that they can stop investment. The work of a pension scheme is continuous investment. And therefore, I will also take this opportunity to tell my members that there is nothing wrong with an investment that promises returns. This is a pure mathematical issue where you put workers' money in a project that promises to give you money. In the process and at the moment, the local authorities pension scheme, which we call in short LAP Trust, is investing in a property worth 5 billion, of which at completion, which is at the end of 2 years, is supposed to bring the scheme a profit of 2 billion. This profit is the one we are looking forward to, that it will continue paying the benefits for the employees who will be leaving service after attaining their retirement age. We have also observed that our sister scheme, which is a provident scheme, local authorities provident scheme, is also having an investment of 3.5 billion shillings in Kisumu. And yet, it is not being used as a propaganda tool to solicit for votes. Therefore, we should look at these people and condemn them in the strongest terms because they are interfering with legal duty of other people. I also feel very strongly that the involvement of the Retirement Benefits Authority can go a long way to help these schemes so that they do not continue spending their money in courts for battles that are not necessary. But at the end of the day, it is the employee who should not be cheated out of his hard-earned money as it gets invested prudently in a proper project that promises income and return. We will be lobbying for investments that promise very low risk. These are investments that deal with the government bonds, government treasury bills, as opposed to these other investments that come with risk. From the accountant point of view, we know that the higher the risk, the higher the return. But in a volatile economic situation, it is better to be risk averse and invest in those investments which come through the government, which have almost 100% guarantee of risk. The other thing that we will be looking into as a new office is that the representation in the investment schemes of the pension scheme, the workers have a voice, so that the flow of information is that people who are interested in their money sit in the board where the decisions are made. We will work on that one and ensure that the voice of the worker, the voice of the contributor is inside where the decisions are made, so that if we make the wrong decisions, then it is workers' decisions. We shall not let other people make decisions based on what workers have been saving for many, many years. When I am not in the office, number one, it's good to say that I am employed as an auditor. I am an internal auditor. When I am not auditing and when I am not doing the employees' duties of representation, I take my time to play the game of squash. So I have several clubs in Nairobi where I go around: Impala Club, Abza Club, and Public Service Club. And when I get invitation to visit other clubs, my favorite game is squash. It's one of the best games in the world, as I believe, causes me relaxation and keeps me fit. I want to take this opportunity to appeal to my fellow workers to look at Festus Ngari as a person who has been tried, a person who has been tested, and a person who can be trusted to bring about the changes that we require in form of harmonization, collective bargaining agreement, and non-discrimination at the place of work in accordance to the existing labor laws.